Welcome back everyone. I'm so excited because today we're starting with the Creative Potions tier, and I've got the most beautiful artwork here. I'm so excited to begin to create this tier and all of the amazing things that go along with it. This is a beautiful transformational journey, and I want to thank all of my patrons for joining me on this beautiful journey and for supporting me on this beautiful journey. And I sincerely hope that you benefit from all of this creative energy that is flowing through me and into your lives. May it activate your creative heart and get your soul ablaze with creative energy to manifest the life of your dreams that you deserve. So there is a lot going on. So we finished the magical tier of the magical charm, and I've also finished the artistic wand. So those two beautiful creative amulets is active and activated and rolling, so you guys are welcome to upgrade and experience all of the benefits of each tier. If you want to know exactly what each tier offers, you can just check it out on my Patreon page. Just check out the memberships. All of the tiers are there already, although not all of them have art to make it beautiful yet. It is all in action already. But as we grow through our art and the tiers, we will expand and explain a bit more and share a bit more, because I know you guys that are in the Creative Potions tier, you have voting rights. So please go check it out on our Patreon and vote for the October Transfiguration series that's going to be starting in October. And I think there's two options. It is the octopus and the crow. So everyone has an opportunity to vote between those two. If you would like to experience painting one of these as your spirit guide animal and all of the amazing personal growth that is happening because of that. So that is sort of what's happening in October, just to let you guys know so that you have time to prepare and get excited with me. Okay, so today we are starting with the potions, creative potions. And doesn't these look like creative potions? I mean, honestly, this is brilliant. It's beautiful, and it feels wizardly and it feels magical. And I am just so happy with the symbols that's on these bottles, because it means a lot to me. To me, the spiral is really just a symbol of the universe, to remind me that everything happens in spiral cycles. And then these look like beautiful portals. This might be a beautiful tree. It feels grounded, and maybe it's all about growth. And this one feels like a portal is opening to another dimension. So who knows what magical aspects is in these beautiful potion bottles. Now, my husband did let me know that he has also been inspired by my creative wizardry, and he's been sort of sitting on Timo looking for little trinkets for my desk and for adding to the magical experience of my channel. Bless his soul. And he has showed me the beautiful little apothecary bottles and little things that he found that he wants to add to this environment. So then I can switch out some things that I feel looks a little bit too trinkety, but you know, wizards are trinkety, and bring some of those interesting elements forth. And interestingly, while we're doing the potions painting. Now, I'm gonna include a link to this image on my Pinterest board. If you would like to paint along, then go ahead and do that. In fact, I painted yesterday. I know it's standing right over there. Let me go fetch it because I want to share, or I'll just drop in a picture. Let me use my magic. Again with the sound effects, eh? So this little picture I painted yesterday, from this one, and I just wanted to do a freehand, loose, interpretive painting on whatever paper was lying around. And in fact, I even painted on the wrong side of the paper. I only realized once I started painting that half of the sort of journal or pad, what shall I call it, the papers are turned the wrong way around and inserted that way in the book. So the actual texture is supposed to be on top. But in the end, it worked well. It almost felt like a hot press paper, and it still took the color beautifully. It might have made lots of blooms, but I like that. It looks witchy. Right, you guys. So today, I've already prepared my paper, and this is Archer's 300 GSM, 140 pound, 100% cotton, cold press texture. And I've also already taped my borders. Now you will notice that the image is smaller than the paper. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend some of these suggested background, what shall we call it, paraphernalia, a little bit further all the way to the edge, making this painting mine as well, because I'm changing the layout slightly, and just going to be playing with this beautiful image. Now this is AI generated, so it's not copyrighted, and I can do with it whatever I want, but it is really beautiful, and it totally nails the whole vibe that I want to go for. So like with the other videos, I'm going to just be transferring the outlines of my drawing. So you can print out your reference material. That's if you want to paint along, and I would be most happy and pleased if you do try. And I'm just using a carbon stick to just transfer some carbon to the back of my reference material. And it also doesn't have to be pitch black. It just has to have enough carbon so that when I go around and trace the elements, then a little bit of that carbon is transferred to my watercolor paper, and in that way I'm able to immediately capture the position, the proportion, the composition, the layout, the shapes, the forms, etc. Makes it a lot easier. Okay, you can rest there. And then I like to just use this little paper blender to just rub this a little bit and just evenly spread it on the back of my paper. It's a good morning workout. Warm up the muscles of your arm and your hands. So today is Tuesday. I did have a single booking for today, and then unfortunately I couldn't make it today, so they had to move their appointment to another day. So I have the whole day to work on this painting, and we'll see how far we get today with filming, because I'm hoping to get this entire painting done today so I can just sit and edit, to just catch up a little bit. It's not that I'm behind, I'm on my own schedule, but it does feel like I'm sort of, wanting to get all of these artworks done so that everything is ready on my Patreon. But don't push the river, it flows on its own pace, right? Okay, but I feel something is missing, and I remember now it is time for the flame of hope and creativity to be activated. So there we go, that feels much better. So I'm sending out some positive vibes into the world, frequency of creativity and of hope and peace for our world. May everyone be happy, be healthy, be free from danger, and live with grace and ease. That is my wish for everyone. Right. I'm thinking that this layer of carbon should be enough, so I can go ahead and place my paper. Let's add a little bit of a securing strip so that it doesn't move, because sometimes, you know, life calls and you have to maybe go away, do something else and come back, and you don't want your paper to move while you are tracing the elements. So I'm just going to stick that down like so. There we go. And now my paper is secure, so we can begin to trace this beautiful elements. Now, here we go. I'm still going to start with this one right at the front, and I'm very cautious this time. Forgive me if my creator hat comes in front of the camera, but I'm going to try and make the outline outside of these bottles because there's so much reflective elements that I don't want to trace over by accident. I find a bit later when I want to paint and I'm looking at my reference material, then I've got this new darker outline that sometimes confuses me, and I think it's part of the printout, so just be mindful of that. You could also trace with something that doesn't release any color. A hard object or something would also suffice. And because we're painting these glass objects, all of the reflections and highlights is what is going to be very, very essential to tell the story of these beautiful glass potion bottles. So it does pay to just take your time and be careful with your outline. Now, let's see. Perfect. It doesn't have to be black. I just need to be able to see where what is. I'm just gonna indicate some of these interesting shapes. It's not making a terribly dark mark. I didn't really add that much carbon to this whole business. The packing yard has been very busy of late next to our property, so sometimes you might hear this truck making a god-awful noise. I think they have a very busy schedule. They even worked on a Sunday night, so there's definitely some urgency. That feels good. Nice. Okay. So I'm also going to be playing with my metallic watercolors for these beautiful symbols. It's nice and shiny. and reflective. Nice. Right. Now down here, the curvature of these bottom bits of the potion bottles is very important because it reads as something round. Right. I'm going to move up to the green bottle. Now we've painted a potion bottle earlier this year during the snake spirit guide animal art journey, and that was quite a transformative experience indeed, as we welcomed in the energy of the year of the snake. And I know that a lot of people was petrified of the idea of painting a snake, and in the end that transformative journey at the canvas was really a beautiful healing moment, because snake energy is all about transformation, healing, medicine, and shedding your old creative skin. Now, I had no idea when I started this journey this year that this is how it's going to turn out. This is the change and the transformation that is going to occur on my channel and in my personal life. Absolutely mind-blowing when you open yourself up to work alongside the energy of the universe that is available to you at the time. It's just spectacular. It's always advisable to work along with the flow of the universe, because if you work against it, all you create is misery and suffering and tension. When we are in alignment with the flow of the river of the universal energy that's available to us, then we create grace and ease, because everything synchronistically flows to you instead of you trying to go fetch it or force it to be something that it's not. Forgive me. Awesomeness. Now you might not be able to see on camera any of these lines because I can barely see them. It's more of an impression in the paper than anything else. Right. And why paint one potion bottle if you can paint 3, right? And just make sure I've got that line there. Yes. Alrighty then, let's go for it. You see, so it's helpful to be able to pick up the paper and just see what it is that you've drawn already, especially on this one with lots of rope. It is worth your time to take your time to really not rush through this tracing process. It's still a drawing, you just have a guide, that's the difference. Now this level of the potion in the bottle. Very important to capture that elliptical shape. Gorgeous! Oh, I just love these symbols on here. Now there's something in the middle here that I didn't trace. Awesome! Okay, let's do these ropes. And I think what can be confusing about things like ropes is these parallel lines are so close to each other and this one goes behind the glass. I actually prefer to draw with a bit of a blunter pencil as to not tear my paper, because you do need to press down quite firmly. That's good, good, good. It's good, it's nice. Alrighty. Okay, so here in the background we have a mortar and pestle. I think I'm gonna add the right word and spelling here. I might have said it wrong. So it's just a sort of vague object in the background, so don't draw too much detail, but this can go all the way to the edge, something like that. So we're making it a little bit bigger. Okay, this table is so interesting. It has a lot of character. Now, if something doesn't make sense in the reference material, then sometimes I like to just ignore that. If it's not adding to the piece, then don't worry about it too much. This is a book in the background. I'm just going to take that line through. This corner will basically come down here, I think. So I'm just going to take these lines through. That feels like it's part of the table. Now we have another bottle here in the background. And there's also a rope coming around it. This rope tie almost feels a little bit like a trinity kind of knot. That feels good. Here is probably a window in the background. That feels good. I'm just going to fill that with something out of focus and a little bit darker. Let's take that through. Just extend the lines a little bit. This thing will probably be something like that. There we go. Right. I think we've captured the essence of this drawing. I will spend maybe just a few minutes more just intensifying it for myself so I can see where I am and what I'm doing. And then we'll get into the color mixtures and begin to play. The advantage of this image is all of these bottles have beautiful sort of flow in them, so we're definitely going to be using a lot of wet into wet techniques to create these beautiful magical flowy kind of things. Let me just see. I think what I am going to do is I'm going to use my white crayon to capture some of these highlight moments. I don't want to play with masking fluid this time around. Come here, you magical tool. There we go. Fantastic. Right. I'm going to take this off and let's start with the green bottle. We definitely have a bee. Most essential ones is what it's all about. Right, I think that's the most essential highlights. That's very white and reflective. So in our next episode we'll begin to paint this beautiful scene. I'll see you guys then. Bye bye for now.